seen from him in terms of early snaps? Is he maybe among the freshmen in the running for the most?
Oh man, I think they're all in the running right now. 5 days in. I mean, he's flashed for sure. He's just like we thought. He's really, really fast. I mean, he is really, really fast. And he and Tink have really, I think, shined well in that slot. I mean, they're both playing the slot and getting a little bit of work at the Z as well. But we got two good ones right there. Feel really good about both of them. Ball skills, natural athletes. Tink's impressive. He's got just unbelievable instincts for the game. And Tyler, same way. I mean, he can really, really run, and both of them can run. I would say Tink's just really smooth, knows what to do with the ball in his hands, and Tyler is probably further along than I thought he might be from a technical standpoint. So I knew he could run, but from a technique standpoint and just his ability to grasp on, he's a little further along than I thought he might be. So I'm really pleased with both of those guys, really the whole group. Noble has played Z and X for us, and Noble has made some progress since the spring for sure. And then Ronan's, he's coming. He flashes, but he's got a lot on his plate right now.
Coach talked to Xavier Thomas the other day. Opposite him is going to be Justin Maskell, guy who's been in the program a long time. Do you think he's ready to step up and be the guy?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm excited for him. I really am. And I'm just praying he can stay healthy, and he and X. I literally pray for both those guys, man, because I just want them to have a great year, and they only really need one good year to put it together, I think, to really just best position themselves. And I'm hoping that Maskell will be that KJ Henry guy this year. That's what my hope is. KJ went from probably a high priority free agent, 7th round type guy to 4th, 5th round guy this year, and really had a heck of a year for us and took his game to another level. And I'm really hopeful for Maskell and the same thing. I'm really pleased with where he is. He looks great physically. He's just got a lot of confidence to him, and hopefully he can stay healthy and put it all together.
Dabo, all week we've been hearing from your players about their relationships with other players and how everybody motivates each other, whether that's Rook and Tyler Davis or even Will Shipley in that whole running back room. But what do you think is more important, the inspiration between players or the inspiration between coaches and players?
I think they're both very important for sure. But I think, you want a group of guys that love each other and are connected. Ultimately, they got to go play the game. It's best when you have total connectivity and chemistry with your coaches and your players for sure. But there's nothing like a close football team, that really truly loves each other, cares for each other, knows each other, beyond the practice field or the locker room. And this team is, I think I've said many times, I think that's one of the more underrated things in a team is chemistry and leadership that comes with that. And this team's got really good chemistry. They really do like each other. They care for each other. They're practicing the right way, competing hard, but taking care of each other as well, and from a practice standpoint. But a lot of guys that that's what football does. It creates relationships for the rest of your life. And these guys in that locker room, they'll be connected forever for sure.
What's your evaluation of Dietrich right now, and sort of where he is? I saw he's going out there with the twos, I guess.
Yeah, he's coming. He's making some progress. He's putting his best days, together. Really since he's been here. This time last year, obviously, again, the story of Dietrich. I thought he was going to play as a freshman and then tore his ACL, and it really just kind of took him a while to get back. Didn't really train like he needed to train. Just a little bit of immaturity, I think, and just got behind. And but man, he's made some progress this spring. His body's in a great spot. He's strong. He's lean. I think the biggest thing is just really his endurance. That's probably sometimes he can get a little tired and he get a little sloppy, but he's stacking his best days. He's been pretty consistent, so I'm really pleased with Dietrich. This kid this kid's got unlimited ability. He really does. I mean, he's got unlimited ability, can be as good as he wants to be. He's competing with Walker Parks right there right now, and and Marcus Tate. So he's that's a tall task, and he's growing into it, and I like what he's doing to this point, 5 days in.
In spring, you said you really missed having Adam Randall out there. Now that he is back out there, just what are you seeing from him?
He's been great. All these guys. We missed Adam. We missed Bo. We missed Ronan, Tink. We missed Tyler Brown. I mean, we had some dudes not out there. So I mean, we just got more depth. Healthy depth in a while. And it's just great to see those guys. But Adam he's same thing. He's stacking days. I mean, he's making plays. He's being consistent. He's not making many mental errors. He's practicing fast. His endurance has been really good. He just seems healthy. He's moving well. So it's really nothing to not like, at this point. So same thing. Just pray that he can put it all together and stay healthy, because if he's on the field, he's going to make some plays for us.
We've heard reports that the ACC might be looking into adding some teams. Do you have thoughts on that, about the expansion? How do you feel about the team playing teams across the country?
Yeah, I have zero thoughts about it. I mean, I know that's definitely a question you got to ask, but that's what administrators do. I have zero thoughts or concerns about that. We're getting ready to play. I mean, in we got about 26 days or so. I mean, that's where my thoughts are. So it doesn't even cross my mind at this point.
At running back, you like the way Thomas and Keith Adams have started camp, and
Yeah.
Is Thomas still a little bit ahead, or are they pretty even?
Well, I mean, we've just been in pads 2 days, so we got a long way to go. They're all repping, Dominique has done a heck of a job. I mean, he's a good football player, natural runner. Man, Keith caught my eye today. He just really runs behind his pads really well. He's made some progress. He's become more confident in his pass pro and just, all that stuff. And then I really like the two young guys. Jarvis is a very polished guy, as you would think, who he is and where he's coming from and what he's been exposed to. And then I tell you, man, that little Jay Haynes, ain't nothing little about him. He's got some natural stuff to him. He really does. I hadn't heard him say a word since he got here. But man, I've noticed him. I've noticed him on the field. So I'm excited to kind of keep going and see how those guys all kind of pan out as we go through camp and get into some scrimmage work. And, if tomorrow's the first day, we'll get a little bit of live work. We'll do a little short yardage and some goal line tomorrow as we can keep building toward the scrimmage on Saturday. So still in our acclimatization period, if you will. But they're, all those backs have really flashed. I mean, they've all done a nice job, not disappointed anybody. And, Shipley and Maffa have been really good, just like we thought they'd be, and just really focused, very mature. So we think we got a good group.
Have you noticed any sort of difference in Cade and how he carries himself or interacts with the team as you guys have gotten into scrimmage or practices and stuff now, even compared back to spring, now that he's got this time under his belt, both with Garrett and with being QB1? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, he just comes with the territory. I think as you get in that position, you have all these opportunities to lead. Sometimes guys don't take those opportunities, and he has. I mean, he's a natural leader. And, coming into the spring, he's trying to really assert himself as, okay, hey, I'm the guy. And, and then it just, you go through it. You go through the spring, you go through the summer, the off season, all the stuff, all the skills and drills, and you get into camp, and it's fun to see that. I mean, there's just a lot of confidence in him, and he has confidence. He's always had confidence, but you can see that his teammates have a lot of respect and a lot of confidence, but they've also seen him work, and they've seen what he's done physically and mentally. His guy's always in the film room. He does everything that you could want. So definitely a difference, even from the spring in that role.
I think guys appreciate how he handled last year, the graciousness when he did get to play for DJ, the way he could kind of come in and handle the ups and downs of what was a pretty precarious situation, I'm sure, for any quarterback to be in.
Sure. Yeah, these guys, they all understand the situation. I mean, especially when you play that position, just kind of comes with the territory. But you know, some handle it better than others, and I think that's just a credit to Cade and who he is as a kid, his family. You know, I mean, he's how he was coached in high school. I mean, and then just again who he is as a person. I mean, he's just wired. He's just wired that way. He's an unbelievable competitor, but he's incredibly respectful and a very humble kid.
What have you seen at left tackle so far?
I've been pretty pleased. I mean, we've tried to, you know, we're trying to create some competition there. I think Tristan has really held up well. I mean, I've heard me brag on him a bunch, man. I love everything about Tristan Lee. I just love that, you know, and he's not perfect, but here's what I love about him. There's nobody that cares more than that guy. And if he makes a mistake, he usually don't make it again. But he's really held up well. I'm really pleased with Colin Sadler. You know, man, Sadler I'm super excited. You know, it kind of worked out. He would have ended up playing last year, and he ended up getting hurt and was out. But, you know, he's a redshirt freshman. I tell you what, man, you know, him and Blake Miller in that group, that was two really good ones. And Colin's right there. And then we've slid Marcus Tate out there. Mitchell Mays. I mean, we're trying to create as much tackle depth as we can. You know, we feel good about where we are inside and all the versatility, but we want to create a good, you know, 3 to 5 guys that we feel good about can go play tackle for us. But it's competitive right now. Not disappointed in anybody. I'm more, you know, pleased